Hello and welcome to Full Throttle, showcasing the very best of British motorsports from all around the UK at the country's leading circuits. Racing today presented by the British Automobile Racing Club and the Classic Touring Car Racing Club, with their various championships for saloon cars of all shapes, sizes and ages. The running order today begins with the most powerful cars in the Classic Thunder Saloon Championship, mixed in with the Blue Oval Saloon Series for everything Ford. And then pre-66 touring cars, the oldest cars on show today, Minis, Ford Anglias and plenty more. That's followed by the Jaguar Enthusiast Club Saloon and GT Championships, Jaguars of all shapes and sizes in there. Then we've got the pre-93 and 2003 touring cars, mainly BMWs in pre-93 and Hondas in pre-2003 among others. That's followed by the pre-83 Group 1 touring cars, mainly Ford Escorts to the fore in that one, and all repeated again in the second round of races after that. We'll have a look at the grid then for our first race in a second. Cars waiting patiently in the assembly area. Now let's have a look then at the Thunder and Boss grid. In pole position it is Jason West, one of the championship contenders with his BMW M3, and alongside him, great effort by 123 AJO in the front-wheel drive Honda Civic, proving effective in the wet conditions. Second row of the grid, we've got the first of the Blue Oval Saloon Series racers, Malcolm Harding with the Zack Speed Escort, alongside Jason Hughes in number 5 with the Super Touring Vauxhall Vectra. Third row, a very spectacular third row, number 18, Andy Robinson, the former champion with his Ford Falcon V8 supercar from Australia, starts alongside number 13, Jos Ronchetti, in the one and only Lotus Bullet, running in Class H2, one of the historic classes of the Thunder Saloons, the Talbot Sunbeam Lotus, very modified machine indeed. Fourth row, Tony Paxman, number 57, with his Mark 1 Escort, but I don't think he's going to be starting. He's had problems in qualifying, so it could well be Andy Wilson who starts there alone. He's in the Holden Monaro. Row 5, good to see Steve Goldsmith with his Ford Anglia backouts. Saw him battling with Malcolm Harding at Brands Hatch earlier this season. He starts alongside James Everard, number 38, with his beautiful BMW E30 M3. Row 6, number 121, Colin Voice. He's in a Mark 1 Zack Speed Escort. That's actually running in the Classic Thunder series, not the Blue Oval Saloons. And he starts alongside number 8, Darren Owen, Deadly Daz as he's known, in his Mark II Escort. He's using everything from hot rod racing on the short ovals to rallycross over the years. Then we've got number 27, Martin Reynolds with the Ford Anglia, alongside Will Hunt in his Ford Fiesta ST. Row 8, Jack Gadd, number 58. He's in an Escort Mark 1 alongside Sam Daffin, number 124. He's in a Fiesta. Row 9, we've got 62, Tom Abbott with his Capri, alongside Dan Mackay in a Ford Fiesta number 59. On the 10th row of the grid, we've got the very spectacular Aston Martin V8 Vantage. It's not Ricky Cann in the car for this race. It'll be Sam Wilson driving in this race. Ricky Cann is taking over that car for race 2, starting alongside Paul Wood, number 66, with his BMW M3. Row 11 is next with 787, that's Clive Hainsford with his very modified rotary engine Mazda RX-8, alongside 49, Steve Waterman with his beautiful little Toyota Starlet. Row 12 is 23, we heard from Craig Owen, father of AJ in the Sierra Cosworth. Starts alongside 22, James Dunkley with his Ford Fiesta XR2. Row 13, number 129, Mike Thurley, ex-national hot rod racer with his Ford Escort, alongside number 90, Ian Bauer in his BMW M3. Ian starts just ahead of David Griffin, another M3, the Diet Coke car, number 34. They'll probably be taking it easy in this race because they are fighting for the pre-93 championship later on. Alongside David Griffin is one of our contenders for the Blue Oval Saloon title, number 86, Colin Claxton with his Mark 1 Escort. He won't be too happy to be that far down. He needs to beat Martin Reynolds today to try and take the title there. And at the back of the field is number 33, which is Andy Cripps in his BMW M3. The rear-wheel drive BMW struggling a bit with the wet conditions in qualifying earlier on. Ready to rumble then with the first race of the day here at Mallory Park, the Edmondson Electrical Classic Thunder Saloons and the Burton Power Blue Oval Saloon Series. The lights are out atop the pace car, the pack about to be unleashed. Jason West in the BMW on pole, AJ Owen alongside in the Honda Civic. Here we go, down towards Gerrard's for the first time. We go racing here at Mallory Park. Jason Hughes moves across in the Vectra to the inside. It's West that's got the lead. AJ Owen not the best of getaways there. The more powerful machines trying to move up on the inside. Looks like they're all going to make it through the first part of Gerard's. Okay, good start by Malcolm Harding in the Escort up there in the second, the leader of the Blue Oval Saloon Series cars. There goes Daz Owen with his Escort number 8, a great ball of spray as they head down towards the S's for the first time. Jason West in the BMW M3 leads the way. Watch for Jason Hughes in the Vectra. He wants to beat AJ Owen and take another class victory here. This great variety of machinery heads up towards Shaw's Hairpin for the first time. Harding second, Owen third, Hughes fourth, Robinson is fifth, then Jos Ronchetti in Lotus Bullet in sixth position. Steve Goldsmith's Anglia next, then it's Daz Owen, no relation incidentally to AJ and Craig Owen. Over the top at Devil's Elbow they come, then they drop down towards the main straights. They complete the first lap. Jason West has the lead. Malcolm Harding in second place for Andy Wilson coming through from the back. AJ Owen down to third. Jason Hughes in the Vectra is in fourth. Then Robinson fifth as the leader heads down Stevie straight towards the S's for the second time. Leads by 1 1/4 seconds at the end of the first lap ahead of Malcolm Harding. There's Andy Wilson about to be lapped. See, some of the more powerful cars are struggling in these wet conditions. Craig Owen about to go a lap down in the Sierra Cosworth. And Jason Hughes has now dropped AJ Owen, Craig's son. They're currently nearly 3 seconds apart. Somebody off, that's Craig Owen, has spun the Sierra Cosworth at Gerard's there on the grass we caught a glimpse of. Jason West continues to lead. They lap Clive Hainsford's Mazda RX-8. Andy Wilson goes a lap down as well. This is Larry stuff out there. The leaders gobbling up the back markers, and Harding gets the tighter exit there from the hairpin. He's alongside Jason West as they come towards Devil's Elbow. Look at this, the Escort tries to make a move, but West gets the tighter line for the left-hander and has still just about got the lead as they cross the line. Through come your leaders then into Gerard's once again. Just a couple of retirements, James Everard and also Darren Owen. Deadly Daz has dropped out in his Mark II Escort. The gap that time through was 0.8 of a second, so Harding starting to close back up again. Wipers flailing on Jason West's car as he laps Dan Mackay in the Ford Fiesta. And there's your class leaders on the right of the screen. There are a lot of different classes in this race. I make it 12 different classes, and there is Jos Ronchetti, and he's being lapped. Look at this, 3 wide out of Devil's Elbow. This is good. Malcolm Harding gets past Clive Hainsford and Jos Ronchetti in one move. Chases on after Jason West. Into Shaw's Hairpin for the last time comes Jason West. Started from pole position, a bit late to the grid, but it matters not because he's coming in to win our first race today here at Mallory Park. Up towards the line comes Jason West. And over the line he comes, there's the checkered flag. Jason West, our first winner of the day. Malcolm Harding comes over in second, 6.7 seconds back. He wins the Blue Oval Saloon Series split, and Jason Hughes comes across the line, cheered home by his crew, still unbeaten in Class C. Surely that's going to be enough for the championship this year. We'll see if he can confirm that with an unbeaten run in Class this year in Race 2. AJ Owen comes in fourth in the Honda Civic. And Andy Robinson will complete the top 5. He's even lapped his fellow V8 supercar there from Australia of Andy Wilson. Robinson comes in fifth and wins Class A of the Thunder Saloons. Sixth overall is going to be Sam Wilson. Good run through in the Aston Martin. He takes sixth place and he wins Class H1. Martin Reynolds, a class win in the Blue Oval Saloon Series in ninth overall. He wins Class B, and that will put him in pole position for the championship later on. Here's the results of race 1. Jason West in the BMW takes the win by 6.7 seconds ahead of Malcolm Harding. He wins the Blue Oval Saloons split and wins Class S. Jason Hughes still unbeaten in Class C of the Classic Thunder Saloons. Surely on course for the championship now. AJ Owen takes fourth overall. Andy Robinson fifth and wins Thunder Class A. Sam Wilson wins Class H1 in sixth. Good run through the field in his Aston Martin. Steve Goldsmith taking seventh in his Ford Anglia. 8th place for Jos Ronchetti, losing a place there on the final lap. 9th for Martin Reynolds, a crucial class win for him. And Colin Boyce rounds out the top 10, his Mark 1 Escorts. Paul Wood was 11th in his BMW, ahead of Jack Gadd in his Escort. Will Hunt 13th. Andy Wilson from the back of the grid made it up to 14th. And it was the Fiesta of Sam Daffin who rounds out the first 15 places. Behind them, 16th Clive Hainsford in the Mazda RX-8. Then Tom Abbott in the Capri. Craig Owen, despite a spin, finishes 18th in the Sierra Cosworth. Then Dan Mackay in his Fiesta wins his class. Completing the top 20, James Dunkley, and the final two finishers, Steve Waterman and Andy Cripps. We lost Colin Claxton, Mike Thurley, Darren Owen and James Everard into retirements. We can now hand down to Ian Waterhouse in a second in Parc Ferme. He'll be talking to our race-winning drivers.
Well, welcome down to Parc Ferme, everybody. The first race of the day is complete, and what a cracker it was in the hardest of conditions, wasn't it? Let's grab a quick chat with Jason Hughes, shall we? Finished place in total. Jason, how was that out there? Blimey.
Very wet and blind.
You came out quite late. You actually went back round the track again.
Yeah,
a bit of confusion with the lineup.
Yeah, it was overheating the car, so it was taking that long to get everyone in and on the line. So I said, well, we'll have to go round and let it cool down, so they did, and luckily, and then it stalled, and we had to get the boost back to get it going. Nightmare.
But you got it a ton, and you finished third on the over the line.
That's all we
well.
needed. That I think we've wrapped the championship up now, so that's what we needed. So,
thank you very much, Jason. Congratulations, mate. That was, certainly didn't look easy.
Oh dear, we almost didn't make the start.
Well, actually, that was a question for you, because you came through very, very late. What happened?
I think the timetable changed, and it's not the tannoy in the paddock isn't working. So we were sat there, just having, had some breakfast, we were just kind of chilling out, and we heard a V8 go past and went, hold on, why is there a V8 out on track? And I was like, oh, panic. So,
my word. But hey, I'm glad you got out though, because my word, what was it like, that opening, like cold tyres, of course, going around that long right-hander, Gerard? What was it like?
Yeah, it was definitely a bit dicey, but these tyres need to last for the second race, so it's just kind of trying not to shred them, because I have a bit of a habit of shredding wet tyres, or just pushing too hard. So yeah, so it was good. It was really good fun.
It certainly is. Yes, thanks very much, Ian. Congratulations, Jason Hughes there, confirmed as the Classic Thunder Saloon champion, as we just heard. It's the Pre-66 touring cars next, so the cars will be heading to the grid. As we were mentioning there, it is James Ibbotson, who's qualified very well overall, who leads the championship overall, but in pole position is the man who's second in the points in Class C. Robin Slater has put his Ford Anglia on pole position alongside the similar machine of Kevin Swan, 63. That's a new front row for this year. Second row is the first of the big American V8s in Class A. Alan Greenall with his Ford Falcon starts alongside James Ibbotson. Stunning qualifying effort to start fourth overall in the number 87. Row 3 is the first of the Class F cars. That's the Lotus Cortinas. Pat Keneally starts alongside the Mini of number 5 Andy Mesham, who we've just heard from. Row 4, number 12, Nathan Williams with his Mini alongside the Mustang of Piers Grange, who we've just seen in assembly. Row 5, number 11, Roger Stanford. He's the favourite to take the Class F title today. His main rival, Peter Smith, is not here. Alongside the second of the Hillman Imps, number 22, Michael Loveland. Row 6, we've got number 66 of Adam Gittings. He's at the wheel of a Morris Minor, starting alongside 57, David Hall in his Lotus Cortina. Row 7, 118, Nathan Beresford. He's in a BMW 1800, alongside 53, Stuart Radford in the Triumph Vitesse. They're both in Class B. Row 8, we've got 43, Eric Ez Walker with his Ford Anglia alongside number 60 of the Davies family in their Mini. It's Michael Davies, not John, going in the first race, so John takes over for race 2. Row 9, we've got 83, Tim Dodwell in the Mini that no doubt he will have driven to the circuit on the road today, starting alongside 68, Keith Wright in his Morris Minor. The 10th row, we will have number 1, the reigning champion, the outgoing champion, Patrick Harris, with his Morris Minor alongside the Cortina of number 8, Paul Cooper. That's a Cortina GT, not a Lotus Cortina, so that goes in Class C. And the final row, number 6, Michael Foley. He's in a Morris Minor, I think. No, he's in a Lotus Cortina, in fact. He's changed cars. So alongside him, number 26, Steve Evans in his Austin A40. Brian Bedford takes over that car in race 2. The revs begin to rise on this slippery circuit here at Mallory Park, and the 15-minute race gets underway now. Down towards the first corner. Look at James Ibbotson down the outside in the Hillman Imp. Kevin Swan's got a lot of wheel spin, so has Alan Greenall, and it's going to be Robin Slater who leads into Gerrard's Bend for the first time. Ibbotson up into second place. They've left the rest of the field standing. Kevin Swan in third. The big American V8 struggling to get their power down. Somebody a bit slow away there. Michael Foley, the ex-Morris Minor racer in his Lotus Cortina at the back. Ibbotsson's going for the outside. He wants an overall win here, I think. He's going for the outside into Stevie Straight there, and he's taken the lead from Robin Slater. Well, James Ibbotson, he only needs to win his class today to take the title, but he wants an overall win. He's lost out though to Slater into the S's. Robin Slater is Kevin Swan sideways in the Ford Anglia. There's going to be a lot of going sideways there into the S's at the end of the back straight. I hope we're not going to see any spinners. What an absolutely stunning field of cars we've got here today though. Robin Slater leads the way into the hairpin, James Ibbotson in second, Swan third, then Alan Greenall in the big Falcon. Look at the understeer there through the hairpin. Piers Grange behind, and Michael Loveland moving up as well in his Hillman Imp, the second of the Imps. Over the top we go, Ibbotson sideways. In wet conditions, James Ibbotson is driving like he's in a rallycross event. We saw this at Brands Hatch earlier this year. Really is a stunning driver. He's only a young gun, the man from Milton Keynes. Kevin Swan with the Anglia behind, then it's Greenall, Grange, then we've got Michael Loveland, and then the first of the minis, which is Nathan Williams ahead of Andy Mesham, and behind them is the number 60 of Michael Davies. Because into the S's, it's the two Ford Anglias leading the way, the Falcon in third, Slater, Swan. There's somebody off there on the exit of the S's, has spun into the barrier. I think that's Keith Wright's Morris Minor. It was a red and white car, which suggests it is Keith. Yeah, but here comes Alan Greenall. Now the track is drying out just a little. The power of the Falcon can be put down more readily under the right foot of Alan Greenall. Slide their way through. Yes, there's Keith Wright's Morris Minor off. A rarity nowadays, though, as round the outside comes Greenall into Gerard. He's got through into second position. Kevin Swan goes down to third. Still, this is the best we've seen run. Oh, Alan Greenall's overcooked it. He's off. Oh, he must have braked too late there for the wet conditions. The Falcon goes ploughing into the muddy grass. Disaster for Greenall. That means he's going to lose not only the overall second place that he'd just taken for a few seconds, but he's going to lose the lead, I would think, in Class A to Piers Grange as well in the Ford Mustang. Piers Grange, a multiple champion in the Blue Oval Saloon Series. Switching to pre-66 this year. Robin Slater continues to lead. Down Stevie Straight, he's surely going to make a move here into the S's. Yes, he's up the inside. Alan Greenall, champion-elect in Class A, retakes the lead of the class. Nice recovery after his spin. The overall order now, Slater from Swan, just over 3 seconds separating the Anglias. Ibbotson a further 11 seconds back in third overall. But the checkered flag is out, and it's a win for Robin Slater. Thought we were perhaps going to get another lap out of that one, but the checkered flag does come out for Robin Slater. Second place will be Kevin Swan. Roger Stanford wins Class F, sideways all the way in his Lotus Cortina. The Anglia is separated by 10.3 seconds at the end of that one, so Slater pulled away by nearly 2 seconds on that last lap alone. Robin Slater gets his first win of the season. We're waiting for James Ibbotson in the Hillman Imp. Here he comes. It is going to be a Class E win for James Ibbotson in the Hillman Imp. He's still on course for the championship. Look at him celebrating as he crosses the line. Alan Greenall recovers from a spin to win Class A in fourth place. Provisional result then of the Pultec Pre-66 Touring Cars. A win for Robin Slater, his first win of the season in his Ford Anglia. It's an Anglia 1-2. Kevin Swan gets his best ever result in second overall. James Ibbotson, an amazing effort to take third overall in the Hillman Imp Super. He wins Class E. Class A won by Alan Greenall. Nice recovery from his spin to take fourth place. Fifth place went to Michael Loveland in his Hillman Imp, second in Class E. First in the Minis home was Mike Davies in sixth, ahead of Piers Grange in the Mustang. Then Williams and Mesham in their Minis next home. Roger Stanford winning Class F in 10th overall, just ahead of David Hall in the Battle of the Lotus Cortinas. Adam Gittings wins Class D at the wheel of his Morris Minor in 12th place. Tim Dodwell 13th in his Mini, then Ez Walker and Patrick Harris completing the top 15. Behind them, Michael Foley at the wheel of his Lotus Cortina finishes ahead of Steve Evans. He'll hand that car over to Brian Bedford for race 2. Then Paul Cooper's Lotus Cortina. Stuart Radford wins Class B in 19th overall, and then Keith Wright completing the finishers after an early spin into the wall in his Morris Minor. Nathan Beresford and Pat Keneally, the only two retirements. Right, we can now hand down to Ian Waterhouse in Parc Fermé, who is going to talk to our race winners and hopefully some class winners as well.
Well, hello everybody, welcome back down to Parc Fermé for the pre-66s. Here they all are, what a sight they make, don't they? Let's go have a quick chat. We've got a number of the drivers up here. Kevin Swan over here coming home in second place. It was Robin Slater picking up the win. How's that out there?
Well, it was good. It was good. I enjoyed it.
It looked very tricky. It looked very treacherous indeed, but it looked very exciting. I was down at the S's, and about 10 cars came sideways past me, I think.
Yeah, it was slippery. I found the limit in qualifying.
Yeah.
Had an off in qualifying, and I thought, well, if I can keep the thing in a straight line and get through some traffic, just keep cool.
Yeah, I mean, you come up to traffic quick and
don't look
very
cool.
quickly. Well, you come up to traffic quite quickly here at Mallory, don't you?
Yeah.
It's a very, very short lap. Does that play a part?
Yes, it does. Yes, I always find us good if you get traffic. You've got somebody pursuing you. If you can get through the traffic quick.
Yeah.
And carefully and safely, then you can pick up an advantage. As soon as I got the traffic, I managed to get some air between me. But I can still see him there.
You've got to do it all again later as well.
I'm hoping it's dry because that'll be quicker and dry.
Okay, thanks Ian. Next on track today will be another famous British marque. Not MGs, but Jaguars will be our next race of the day. The Jaguar Enthusiast Club Saloon and GT Championship. So waiting for the Jaguars to be released from their lair then, the big cats. Right at the end of qualifying this morning, it is the Class D champion-elect Tom Robinson in his supercharged XJR Saloon who snatched pole position, and it is the championship leader number 24 Michael Seaborn who has qualified his ex-Gale Hill XJ40 alongside him as they make their way out. The second row will be number 11 of Michael Holtz. He's in the only Class C entry here this weekend. On the second row alongside number 44 Guy Connew in the first of the XJS's. That is a Class D car. Row 3 it will be number 65 Simon Lewis. He's in a Series 1 XJ6. He's in Class A. You can hear the whine of the supercharger there on Tom Robinson's car. And alongside Simon Lewis will be Tom Lenthal in the number 58, the XK8, the newest car on this grid. So he's on at row 3. Row 4, 54 Rick Walker. He's running in Class B. And number 4, Simon Dunford, leading the points in Class A coming into this one. Fifth row, 28 of Daniel Stewart. He's in Class B with his XJS. And Michael Atkinson, number 92. He's also Class B with his X300 XJ6 Saloon. Final row of the grid, 45 David Ringham. And alongside him, number 50, Matthew Davis. Now, which class is he in this weekend? XJR6 in Class A. So 2 Class A cars for the standard machines on the back of the grid. So 12 Jaguars for a 15-minute race. Well, the race gets underway then. And down towards the first corner at Gerrard's they go. Already a bit of bumping and boring there. Tom Lenthal trying to get ahead of Michael Hall, but it's Michael Seaborn who's got away well in the XJ40, and he's going to go round the outside of Tom Robinson, who I think had problems getting the power down there in the supercharged XJR6, and he could have dropped to second here as they come through Gerrard. Yes, it's Seaborn who's got the lead. You can see them sliding there. It is still very slippery out there, even though the rain has stopped. They thunder their way onto Stevie Straight for the first time. Simon Lewis, who started from the back in the Series 1 XJ6, trying to make his way through, but it is the Castrol liveried number 24 who's got the lead. Tom Robinson is going to have a handful here, trying to monster that supercharged machine around. He's in second. The rest of them thunder through behind. A spectacular sight they make, these big Jaguar Saloons. Number 50 Matthew Davis at the back of the field there in his XJ6. Seaborn leads into the hairpin from Robinson. Third is Connew, and Tom Lenthal's already up into fourth in the XK8 ahead of Michael Holt. Simon Dunford's got a good start, number 5 into sixth position, points leader in Class A, looking to seal their title today. But it's Simon Lewis who was the best qualifier in Class A. Not sure why he started from the back of the grid though. Over the line go the leaders. It is Seaborn who leads the way. Look at him snaking around there, under braking for Gerrards. That tells you how slippery it is. Goodness me. Lenthal ahead of Holt, so he's in fourth position overall. There's Lewis who's coming through from the back. Tom Robinson, well, he's going to have two handfuls here with that's the most powerful car on the grid, certainly. He's trying to get up alongside Michael Seaborn. Look at them twitching around. You'd think they were racing small hatchbacks. These are massive, heavy Jaguars, and Robinson using the power of the race-modified number 4 to go into the lead there, around the outside, into the S's. That was just pure power. Trying to find a drier section of track to get that power down. You can see them twitching and bouncing around on their suspension. He's gone straight on. Oh, Robinson's overcooked. He's going off. Oh, disaster for Tom Robinson. I don't think he quite clipped the tyre wall there. I think he got the car stopped in time, but that shows you how hard these cars are to handle. Seaborn out front, and by a handsome margin over number 44, Bob Tullius, aka Guy Connew, in the American Trans Am replica XJS. Third place is now Michael Holt, number 11. He's got back ahead of Tom Lenthal. Runs a Jaguar and Land Rover Specialist garage down in Sussex, does Tom, racing Derek Pearce's XK8 today. Tom Robinson has got going again. There he is. He's come through in 5th place. That was a nice recovery after going straight on at the hairpin. He didn't hit the wall. Compared to the cars we saw in the earlier races for the pre-66 cars, the Minis, Anglias and so on, they almost look like limousines, these big Jaguars, don't they? Look at Michael Holt round the outside there of Guy Connew, and Robinson having a go as well. Now, Connew is the only other Class D car in this race. He might lose out to Robinson here. Holt's already gone through. Robinson wide again. He's really taking some risks in that number 4 car. Now he's up with Holt in the Class C car. He's going to try and take 2nd place back. He's taken the lead of Class D from Guy Connew there. Hope he's not going to go straight on again on the hairpin. Oh no, Michael Holt's going to go straight on instead. He goes grass tracking and he's gone almost into the tyre wall. And wide there a lap ago in the Powerbell Motorsports prepared X300 XJ6, effectively a Series 5 XJ6 Saloon, the X300. He's making the move at Devil's Elbow. It's quite a rare passing place, side by side onto the Kirby Straights. Absolutely together as they cross the line there, just 1/10 of a second in. Lenthal holds the place. Now closing up on them is Rick Walker. He's going well, number 54. He's running 3rd in Class B behind Seaborn and Lenthal. Class A still led by Simon Dunford. 2nd in Class A, David Ringham, number 45. He's down in 10th. He's got ahead of Simon Lewis. In fact, Lewis has lost a few places there. Have we lost Simon Lewis? Possibly, yeah. He's dropped to the back of the field. I think we've lost the yellow number 65 somewhere. Still your leader is Seaborn, but the gap is down to less than 2 seconds. And it's less than that now, because here comes Tom Robinson. Here, the wail of the supercharger. He's sideways there, coming on the Stebby straight. This is so spectacular, so leery from these cars. He's up the inside into the S's. He's going to take the lead from Michael Seaborn. Through he goes. Oh, he's leaned Seaborn wide behind the grass. Oh, that would have been disastrous for Michael Seaborn if he got a wheel on the grass. That could have been the end of his race, and in danger of losing the championship lead. He's back up the inside. This is brave from Michael Seaborn. On the brakes for the hairpin. Don't go straight on, Michael. He's got it round. That's a brilliant bit of driving. This is a cracking race. 4 minutes of it still to go. And Tom Robinson, who is so much stronger in a straight line, he just can't get the power down. You can see the car sliding around there. He can't get it stopped either as effectively as the XJ40. Look at that. Look at the way he's squirming around there down the straight. That is extraordinary. He's retaken the lead, under power into Gerrard's. That's just pure power advantage. Of course, Class D against Class B. Is he going to drift wide on the exit? Michael Seaborn is going to have to be so careful here. He knows if he wins the class here, he'll be in pole position to take the championship. Robinson pulls away, coming out of Gerrard. He's sideways again. It's more like watching a rally car, this is. They're coming up to lap David Ringham in the XJS. Michael Seaborn's not letting Robinson get away here. This has been a very brave drive by both of these men. And despite an off at the hairpin early on, it's going to be a win for the Class D champion-elect Tom Robinson. Here he comes, flashes the lights as he crosses the line. The checkered flag is out. Michael Seaborn, a crucial class win in 2nd place. And 3rd, it is going to be Guy Connew. It's fair play to all our Jaguar racers there. So Tom Robinson recovers from an off at the hairpin to take the win by just over a second ahead of Michael Seaborn, who closed in again towards the end. He wins Class B. Guy Connew 3rd overall, 2nd in Class D. Michael Holt 4th, wins Class C. Recovering from a couple of moments, including a spin in that one. Rick Walker takes 5th overall. Simon Lewis, an excellent 6th and the win in Class A. Tom Lenthal, only 7th and only 3rd in Class B. That could have implications. 8th, Daniel Stewart. 9th, Simon Dunford. In 10th place was Michael Atkinson, then David Ringham 11th and Matthew Davis in 12th place after a spin. All 12 cars making it home. Well done to them. That was very tricky conditions indeed. We can hand down to Parc Ferme, and once the drivers have calmed their nerves, they'll be talking to Ian Waterhouse.
Well, hello everybody, welcome down to Parc Ferme, and if you're like me, you just love the sight of these Jags, and you love seeing them in racing action too, and here they are, 1-2 actually with us as well. We spoke to them, didn't we, up at the assembly area. Guys, fantastic racing. First of all, Tom, congratulations on getting the race win, but this man made it quite hard for you, didn't he?
Very tough, yeah. I just overcooked it coming in the brakes on the hairpin now. I think I just got past it and then, yeah, no grip, straight in the grass, and no, it was good fun, really good fun. Great driver from Mike as well.
We were talking about power. I'll tell you something, I was watching you though coming down this straight, and there was a lot of power. I did see Mike at one point coming out of Jaguar, still quite a lot of water there, wasn't there? Sort of a bit slippy coming out, and it just allowed sort of Tom to get back at you, didn't it, really?
Well, that's it. That's the thing about following Tom, is you basically just got to wait for him to put his foot down a millimetre too much, and the thing just spin the rears up. It's like, cheers mate, I'll take the run then.
Fantastic racing though, guys. It looks like we might even have a dry one for race 2 though. More
Possibly.
of the same. Mike, this time you're going to
not in the dry. Never in the dry.
You never know, eh?
No, we never know. See what happens.
Okay, we'll shortly be underway with our next race then, which will be the Laser Tools Pre-93 and Simply Serviced Pre-03 touring cars. We should see a grid of 16 cars for this one combined across the 2 championships. In Pre-03, meanwhile, it's the man who's on pole position who has pretty much sewn up the championship already. That is Gary Preble with his Honda Civic. He's well ahead of everyone, so it looks like he's going to take the title this year. He starts from pole, number 191 in the white Honda Civic, alongside number 71. Warm welcome back to Simon Ward in his very quick Vauxhall Astra GTE, first of the Pre-93 cars. Second row, 128 Andy Neal in a very potent Peugeot 106, alongside number 38 James Everard in his BMW E30 M3. Now, he failed to finish the Classic Thunder race earlier on, so just looking, yes, he is there. Row 3, 169 Ross Craig in his Honda Civic, alongside 25 Paul Hinson, he's in a BMW Compact. Row 4 are the championship rivals in Pre-93, David Griffin and Ian Bauer. Row 5, John Hillier, good qualifying effort from the BMW E36 Touring, yes, that's as in estate car, alongside number 40 Steve Cripps, he's in an Escort RS 2000. Row 6, number 9 Graham Myers with his BMW, alongside 52 David Nixon, heard from him during the lunch break with his Rover Tomcat Turbo. Row 7, Andy Cripps at the wheel of his BMW, I believe he's the brother of Steve, alongside 56 Andy Sheraton in the E30 BMW, Laser Tools livery car. And the final row, 96 Matthew Howard, he's in Matthew Howarth rather, in his Vauxhall Astra GSI, and 88 Alan Hersey, used to race Reliant Scimitar, now in a BMW Compact. 16 cars out there then for this combined Laser Tools Pre-93 Touring Car Championship race and Simply Serviced Pre-2003 Touring Cars. This will be a 15-minute race, waiting for the red lights to go out, and off they go. Gary Preble, the champion-elect in Pre-03 touring cars, leads them away, chased by Simon Ward. Watch for Andrew Neal, that's little Peugeot 106, a very potent runner, and he's up into second place as they go into the first corner. A bit of bumping and boring further back. There's Steve Cripps and Andy Cripps, the family running together in the BMW and the Escort RS 2000. Preble leads from Neal. James Everard up into third place in the E30 BMW. As they race their way out onto the far side of the circuit. Nice to see a Mark III Astra in there. That's of Matthew Howarth, but it's Gary Preble who leads the way, the former king of Castle Combe in saloon cars. The Wiltshire circuit won their championship many years in a row. Here they come up towards the hairpin then. He's under fire from Andy Neal in the Pocket Rocket Peugeot. Third place is Everard, then Ross Craig. Simon Ward's dropped back to fifth. We haven't seen him out so very often in his Vauxhall Astra this year. He's been racing in the pickup truck racing championship, Simon Ward, and they use the 1 mile oval here at Mallory Park. They cut out the hairpin. Through go the leaders then, Preble from Neil, but it's Everard, Craig, Ward, and there are the protagonists in Class B of the pre-93s. It's David Griffin in the Diet Coke car that led across the line for the first time of asking. There's how the classes work out in this one, the various colours for them. Bauer with the advantage on 96 points. David Griffin, oh, the leader's gone off. Preble's off, he's gone straight on at the hairpin. Rejoins. Now, has he lost the lead? Yes, he has. Andy Neal has the lead now in the Peugeot 106. Well, Gary Preble did what some of the Jaguars were doing earlier on there. He's overshot the hairpin, and it's Andy Neal in the Pocket Rocket 106 who leads from James Everard in the M3. He leads the pre-93 split, of course. Gary Preble fighting his way back up the order, but these two are 4 seconds behind Andy Neal's Peugeot now. Has done a 59.435, fastest lap of the race so far, you can see. Preble all over Everard for second place into Stevie Straight. He's going to go up the inside, he goes through, and the Honda back up into second overall and second of the pre-03s. Now he's going to try and catch Andy Neal. James Everard, the pre-93 leader, he wants to beat the pre-03 car sideways again as they come off Gerrard's into the Stevie Straight. He's going to get alongside here on the run up towards the S's. He's going to go through on the inside into second place. Beautifully done by James Everard in the M3. Into the hairpin for the final time. It's going to be a win for Andrew Neal. The blue flag's being waved frantically at the back markers. Everard at the inside, he's going to win the pre-93 splits, but it's going to be an overall win and a first win in pre-03 touring cars. The Pocket Rockets, Andrew Neal's Peugeot 106 exits the final corner, flashes the lights and comes across the line to win ahead of James Everard by 0.7 of a second. Third goes to Gary Preble. Let's have a look at the result in a moment of that one then. Andrew Neal the winner by less than a second in the end ahead of James Everard. They win their respective championship splits. Gary Preble takes third in his Honda Civic in pre-03. That's, I think, has wrapped him up the championship now. David Griffin wins Class B, but second for Ian Bauer keeps him ahead in the championship standings. Ross Craig splits them in fifth. Simon Ward 7th ahead of Paul Hinson. John Hillier a class win in 9th. David Nixon 10th. Then Steve Cripps in 11th ahead of Andy Cripps. Steve Cripps winning his class. And then it was Howarth in 13th place with his Astra. Alan Hersey's BMW, the final finisher. We lost Graham Myers and Andy Sheraton. Okay, we can now go down in a second to Ian Waterhouse, who's in Parc Fermé, and can hear from our race winners.
Right, welcome down to Parc Fermé, everybody, and once again another fantastic classic touring car race. It is this man over here, Andy Neal, who came over the line first in his lovely little blue Peugeot as well. Nothing little about the car though, because it's super quick. Andy, talk us through that. That was pretty impressive stuff.
Yeah, well, as I just said a little bit earlier, you know, we're doing something right if we beat Gary Preble, who was a legend in himself, really. It's, you know, the car's great. We had a bit of trouble in qualifying, but we got a third, and for the dry I thought I'd have all the more high power cars come by me, but to be fair, this circuit suits the little car. And Sandy Brown, the engine builder, fabulous job. Colin Satchelu sets the car up brilliant, so I'm over the moon. I won here early this year in the wet, but to win against Gary and
James as well, wasn't it? I mean, James another lap. James was really getting quite close.
Yeah, well, it's a bit of local competition because me and James come from the same town. So
what town's that then?
Hull.
Hull. Okay, yes, right.
Yeah, very good.
Well, you got to do it all again, Andy. You've got to do it all again.
One more time.
Well done, congratulations, Andy Neal.
Yes, thanks very much, Ian. Getting ready for our fifth of 10 races today here at Mallory Park, the pre-83 touring cars, sponsored by Shell Oils. And here is the grid. Number 78, Thomas Harvey, is on pole position, and he's in Mike Luck's BMW E21. More on that in a moment. He starts alongside Stephen Primetz, number 67, in his Mark 1 Escort. Second row, another pair of Escorts. Steve Cripps, number 40, the car we've just seen out in the pre-93 touring cars as well, in his RS2000, alongside Mark Lucock in number 18 with his Mark 1 Escort. Row 3 is number 49, Mark Osborne. He's in his Triumph Dolomite Sprint. And alongside the Dolly Sprint is number 27, Martin Reynolds, in a new car this weekend, a Ford Taunus P7. German-built Ford. Looking forward to seeing that out there. Row 4, number 81, just heard from Mark Cholerton with his RS2000 alongside 55 David Howard, who struggled a bit in qualifying in the wet this morning in his big Jaguar XJ12. Row 5, number 86, Colin Claxton. Saw him have problems with his Mark 1 Escort in Blue Oval Saloons earlier on. He's in a Dolomite Sprint for this race, alongside Keith Evans, who just heard from, 64, first of the Class D cars with his Alpha Sud. Row 6, Peter Millington, number 641, with his Hillman Avenger, starts alongside number 84, David Claxton, also in a Triumph Dolomite Sprint. And at the back of the grid, we should see number 22, Tony Palmer, in his big Rover SD1. So it'll be a 15-minute race. Revs begin to rise, and off they go. A wheel-spinning start for the BMW, a sideways start for Mark Cholerton in his Escort. Stephen Cripps barely got away at all there. He's at the back as they head down towards 3 wide and to Gerrards for the first time. Who's going to come out of this? There's contact between David Howard and Colin Claxton. Claxton's off. Look out as the rest of the pack comes through. He's going to go into the barrier on the inside. Oh, disaster there for Colin Claxton. Collision with David Howard off the line into Gerrards. Now, who's got the lead? It's Stephen Primet who leads the way in the 67. He needs to beat Mark Lucock and Tom Harvey here. They run in the same class. So does Mark Osborne. He's made a flying start up into 3rd place, the former champion in his Dolly Sprint. Here comes Lucock up the inside. Car still sporting a bit of damage from a spin into the tyres at Cadwell Park earlier this season. Primet leads, Harvey second, Mark Lucock nearly into the back of the BMW there as he lunged up the inside of Mark Osborne. They're not hanging about, are they? It's just the first lap. 5th behind them is Mark Cholerton. Martin Reynolds got a poor start in the Taunus. He's dropped back. There's yellow flag. I think we've got a safety car. Yes, we have, and that's the reason why. Colin Claxton sitting despondently looking out over the lake here at Mallory. The Dolomite Sprint is out, and the safety car is out as well. Picking up the field while the marshals will remove the Dolomite Sprint. Green flag is shown and the pack is unleashed. Stephen Primet, the Bedfordshire driver in his Mark 1 Escort, leads them off, but Tom Harvey is on the attack as they go into Gerrards. Here they come towards Gerrards again, and Primet is having to defend now. Oh, Lucock's in trouble! Oh, disaster, Mark Lucock's pulled off. Now that's going to change things for the championship, to say the least. Lucock has a problem. He's pulled into the pit lane exit, and he's out of the race. Harvey throws the BMW through ice racing style again. Osborne on the edge of adhesion as well. 45 seconds on the clock, so this is last lap, and Harvey's going for it. He's going down the outside into Gerrards. He's snaking under braking. He's going to go all the way around the outside of the Escort. Oh, brilliant from Tom Harvey. Can Primet fight back? This is going to be a race to the flag. Look out, Martin Reynolds, they're gaining on you. Here they come into Stevie Straights for the final time. They go round the outside. Reynolds perhaps wisely gets out of the way. Primet's not finished yet. Can he fight back against young Tom Harvey, who desperately wants that first win at the wheel of the BMW? He flings it through the S's. The right, the left, up towards Shaw's hairpin. He'll have to be careful on the brakes here, not to overshoot and not to let Primet up the inside. Here they come into the hairpin. Tom Harvey, can he hang on? Runs just a little bit wide there. Primet gets the tighter exit. He's going to be on the wrong side for Devil's Elbow. They could finish side by side, these two. The best race we've had today so far. Can the BMW hang on? They're coming towards the line this time. It is going to be Tom Harvey in number 78. He's done it. Harvey wins it. Primet second. Osborne third. What an incredible race. Okay, provisional result then. Tom Harvey gets his first win at the wheel of Mike Luck's BMW by just over half a second ahead of Stephen Primet, taking the lead on the last lap. Mark Osborne in 3rd place, then Mark Cholerton and Stephen Cripps. David Howard finishes 6th in the Jaguar and wins Class A. Peter Millington 7th, wins Class D. Keith Evans in 8th place in the Alpha Sud. We seem to have lost Martin Reynolds in the last lap there. The Taunus did not come through over the line. And of course, we lost Mark Lucock, which is going to have implications for the championship. And Colin Claxton went off on the first corner. Well, while I get my breath back and calm my heart rate a little, we'll hand down to Parc Fermé with Ian.
Yeah, that's right. I've got no nails left after that race. What an absolute cracker. This man over here, Tom Harvey, he spent half the race sideways. I don't know how on earth he got over the line first, Tom. I don't really know what to say other than I saw you coming out the exit at Gerrards about 5 times sideways.
Yeah, it's a little bit slippery out there. Still some damp patches on the circuit, but pretty good dry line. There's Mac, man. Yeah, pretty good dry line throughout the majority of the circuit. and the car just looked up.
You were on the limit, weren't you?
Yeah, it was on the ragged edge, and I just managed to get a run on Steve into Gerard's, and went round his outside into Gerard's and made a stick.
About 5 laps from the end, you came out of Gerard's quite slow. It looked like it gone, and Stephen was going to run away with it. In fact, you were coming under pressure from Mark Osborne, weren't you? But you managed to hold off.
I had a bit of a moment coming through Gerard's. I caught a damp patch on the outside of the circuit, and it really sent me wide. I went off the circuit a little bit, but then just managed to claw it back to Steve. Steve's just a gentleman to race against.
Okay, I've almost got my breath back, and having done a quick bit of arithmetic there, I reckon Mark Lucock and Stephen Primet are level on points for the championship lead. Grid for the Edmondson Electrical Classic Thunder Saloons and the Burton Power Blue Oval Saloon Series is forming up already, so I'll quickly give you the grid. Jason West, our earlier winner, starts on pole alongside Malcolm Harding in the Escort. On the second row, Jason Hughes, the new Classic Thunder champion, in the Vectra alongside AJ Owen in his Honda. Row 3, Andy Robinson in the Ford Falcon, and Ricky Cann has taken over at the wheel of the Aston Martin. He's the car owner. Row 4, Stephen Goldsmith's Anglia, Josh Ronchetti in the Lotus Bullets. Fifth row, Martin Reynolds, who has jumped out of one Ford into another. Colin Voice starts alongside him. Row 6, Paul Wood, BMW, Jack Gadd, Escorts. Row 7, Will Hunt with his Fiesta ST, Andy Wilson in the Holden Monaro. Row 8, Sam Daffin, Fiesta, Clive Hainsford, Mazda RX-8. Row 9, Tom Howard, Capri, Craig Owen, Sierra Cosworth. I don't think Clive Hainsford's there. We'll check that when we get underway. On the 10th row of the grid, we have got Dan Mackay's Fiesta, James Dunkley in the older XR2. Row 11, Steve Waterman in the Starlet, Andy Cripps BMW, and then the non-finishers from race 1, Colin Claxton and Mike Thurley on row 12. Row 13, Daz Owen and James Everard in the E30 M3. It looks like they are forming up stationary on the grid, ready for the rolling start once again, so we've got time to check if everybody is there. Cars rolling up towards the start line then for race 2 for the Edmondson Electrical Classic and Historic Thunder Saloons and the Burton Power Blue Oval Saloon Series. Jason West's BMW on pole, Malcolm Harding's Zack Speed Escort alongside him. The pack about to be unleashed. The pace car is in pit lane. 15 minutes of racing gets underway down towards Gerrard's. They thunder for the first time. Look at them twitching around on this slippery surface here at Mallory Park. Great start by Jason West. He'll lead the way. Jason Hughes up into second place in the Vectra. And the Aston Martin struggled to get the power down there. Ricky Cann has dropped back a little. Nice little gaggle there at the back of the field as well. Claxton, Daz Owen and Ian Bowers BMW. But it's Jason West in the M3 that leads the way. Jason Hughes in second place in the Vectra. Ready, Jason West starting to put a gap on the rest of the field. Malcolm Harding running wide there under fire from Andy Robinson, the man from the northeast in the big Aussie Ford Falcon. They thunder their way through. Ian Bauer already making up places from the back in his Castrol BMW. Shaw's heavy for the first time. Big lock up there for Malcolm Harding. Flash of flame from Andy Robinson. It's all happening in there. Over the rise they come. Harding leads the Blue Oval Saloon Series splits. There's AJ Owen. Steve Goldsmith in his Anglia. The grey car going well. Had a great battle with Malcolm Harding and Brands Hatch earlier this season. Harding and Andy Robinson side by side into Gerrard's End. Nearly contact between the two of them. There go the leaders. Still fairly close together. Malcolm Harding's got third place. He's got past Andy Robinson, and Andy Wilson is up to fifth. Watch for the Holden Monaro. He's just done the fastest lap. Well, he had done the fastest lap. Jason West just gone through and done a 50.50. Here he comes, and look at this. This is like V8 Supercars in Australia. Ford versus Holden. Yes, admittedly in the Supercars Championship it's Holden Commodores, but through goes the Monaro. Straight past Andy Robinson as if he was standing still there at the S's. Now into back marker traffic. There go the leaders. Oh, we got somebody off. James Dunkley. He's lost a wheel there. You can see in the gravel trap. There we see it. The rear wheel has come off. And a very smart Mark II Fiesta XR2 in the gravel trap. Great shame for James Dunkley. Yes, safety car is out, as I thought. Well, you can see one side, yeah, and we saw the other side. That car's lost, I think, both its rear wheels. That is absolutely extraordinary. You can see it there. I've never seen that before. That's a great shame. It's a beautiful looking car, the Fiesta of James Dunkley. And the checkered flag is being shown. So that's end of race. The race ends a bit early. Of course, we are running a little behind time here at Mallory Park, so the checkered flag has been brought out early. It was going to take a while to pluck the Fiesta out of the gravel there, so the race ends early with a win for Jason West. Provisional result then, Jason West the winner and Jason Hughes second. Hughes the new Classic Thunder champion in the ex-Jason Plato Vectra. Third goes to Malcolm Harding. He wins the Blue Oval Saloon Series. That will net him second overall in the championship. Andy Wilson from the back, he'll be frustrated there. That Holden, I reckon, could have caught the leaders. Andy Robinson is fifth, ahead of AJ Owen, then Josh Ronchetti seventh, then Colin Voice, Paul Wood and James Everard from the back of the grid rounds out the top 10. Ricky Cannon, the Aston Martin 11th. Good result for Steve Waterman there, the little starlet, finishing 12th. Ian Bauer also from the back of the grid 13th, ahead of Tom Abbott's, and Will Hunt in the Fiesta wins his class in 15th. Behind them, Dan Mackay in his Fiesta. Darren Owen, Deadly Daz, gets a result this time in 17th after failing to finish earlier on. Martin Reynolds is 18th and provisionally is the Blue Oval Saloon Series champion for 2021. There were 3 entries in that class at least, so he will get the full points for that one. So Martin Reynolds provisionally your Blue Oval champion. 19th goes to Sam Daffin, then Mike Thurley, Jack Gadd, Colin Claxton, a bit of a day to forget for him. Craig Owen, the final finisher. We lost Steve Goldsmith, and of course, James Dunkley. I'll head down to Parc Fermé in a moment to hear from our winners.
Well, you never quite want to finish a race under the safety car, do you? But it does happen. It is motorsport. Dunkley's okay. Just lost both of his wheels, unfortunately. And what it does mean, though, is that Jason West makes it a double bubble of wins here. Let's go have a quick word with him. And it's a tale of 2 Jasons, isn't it? Here's Jason Hughes second this time. Let's go grab Jason West over the line in the first place overall. Jason, you never quite want to win it under safety car, do you? But a win's a win, isn't it?
Yes, yeah, but there's still 4 wheels on my car, which is better than
and you were leading the race. The first half was, I mean, of course there was another safety car as well, but how does that interrupt your flow when you're leading? Is it like, oh no?
It does, yeah, it definitely does, and everybody catches up, but then you kind of just want to get going, so it's not ideal, but you know, it happens, and you've got to be safe and careful around these things. So
what I will say, though, it's been a pretty good day for you, hasn't it?
Well, I'm not complaining. I'm definitely not complaining.
I can see that with that big smile. Congratulations.
Thanks
well done, buddy.
Thanks, Ian, and good to see James Dunkley is okay there. That must have been a frightening moment coming through Devil's Elbow. I've never seen that before, a car losing both rear wheels at the same time. Extraordinary. The pre-66 touring cars will be up as soon as the circuit was clear. The grid based on the result of race 1 first. It reads like this. Race 1 winner, Robin Slater, in pole position with the Ford Anglia. The similar machine of Kevin Swan will be alongside him. Then on row 2, James Ibbotson, fresh from his first podium, and if he wins the class again here, by my calculations, he will be the overall champion. Starts alongside Alan Greenall in the Ford Falcon. Row 3, number 22, Michael Loveland, and 65, Piers Grange with the Mustang. The 4th row, Nathan Williams and Andy Mesham, a pair of Minis. Row 5, Roger Stanford and David Hall, a pair of Lotus Cortinas. Then on row 6, we have Adam Gittings with his Morris Minor, Tim Dodwell with his Mini. Row 7, Ez Walker, Anglia, Patrick Harris, the outgoing champion, in his Morris Minor. Row 8, Michael Foley, Lotus Cortina, Paul Cooper in the Cortina GT. Row 9, Stuart Radford, the Class B winner earlier on in his Triumph Vitesse. And alongside him, Keith Wright, kept going despite a spin into the wall in the Moggy Minor in race 1. Row 10, it's not Stephen Evans this time, it is Brian Bedford taking over at the wheel of the Austin A40. John Davies lines up alongside him, the Davies brothers sharing their Mini. And at the back of the grid, the 2 cars that failed to finish race 1. Nathan Beresford pulled off on the Kirby Straight in the BMW, and Pat Keneally, who didn't complete a lap in race 1, the Lotus Cortina. Hopefully we'll see that back out at the back of the grid. Race 2 then, for the Pultec Classic Race Engines pre-66 Classic and Historic Touring cars. Get the all clear from the marshals at the back of the grid. This will be a 15-minute race, waiting for the pack to be launched, and off they go. Down towards the first corner. Good start by Kevin Swan in the white Ford Anglia. He's got the lead as they head down towards Gerrard's for the first time. James Ibbotson there on the inside, but he'll lose out to Alan Greenall and the other V8 engine beast of Piers Grange in there as well. Through they come then for the first time. A bit of a slow getaway for Michael Foley in his Lotus Cortina, but Swan in the lead. Slater's held second place in his Anglia. Greenall is up to third. James Ibbotson in the Impey's fourth, and Roger Stanford's on the grass. He's going to go round, coming out of Gerrard's there. Let's hope everybody missed him. Off goes Roger Stanford. Fortunately, nobody T-boned him there as he spun across and clips the tyre wall on the inside. Disaster for Roger Stanford. but he should take the Class F championship this year for the Lotus Cortinas. Meanwhile, here come your leaders. Alan Greenall moving through. He gets a bit of a tap there, I think, from Robin Slater in the Anglia. They've got past Kevin Swan on the run into the hairpin. It was impossible to know where to look there around the first lap. There was so much going on. Now, who's going to be leading as they come through? I think it's Robin Slater that's back in front in the blue Ford Anglia. It is indeed. Greenall second, side by side for third. Here comes Piers Grange monstering through, and Greenall retakes the lead on the outside. Now the track has dried. We can see how the V8 engines prosper here at Mallory Park. Ibbetson's dropped back. As long as he stays ahead of the other imp of Michael Loveland, he should do enough to take the championship this year. Slater in second place, sideways there, coming out of Gerrard's, and Greenall's lost it onto the grass there. I think the safety car is coming out again. There's the reason for the safety car. Roger Stanford in the Lotus Cortina spun coming out of Gerrard's for the first time and has hit the tyre wall. Very fortunate that nobody was close enough to T-bone him as he went out of control. They may be going to restart this. Or at least we might at least get some racing laps, which is after all what we want to see. It's not exactly what Robin Slater wanted to see, because he's now got a Mustang and a Falcon behind him. Cars have come to a halt on the grid then with the red flags out. We're going to have a 5-minute restart. It's just come up on the time clock there. The cars move off then, and the clock hasn't started, so presumably this is another warming up lap, yes. So essentially they've wiped the slate clean by the look of things, and we're going to try again over 5. It now says 5 laps, not 5 minutes. We'll try again then with the Pultec Classic Race Engines Pre-66 touring cars. It'll be a 5-lap sprint for the line. Cars starting in the order that they were in when the red flag came out. So it'll be Robin Slater on pole position. Piers Grange in the Mustang alongside. The second row, Alan Greenall and Kevin Swan. Then the 2 minis, Nathan Williams and Andy Mesham. James Ibbotson, the man we're watching for in the Hillman Imp. If he wins his class, he wins the championship overall. Red lights are on. They go out now, and off they go. Sliding start there from Kevin Swan all over the place in the Anglia. Great getaway by Robin Slater, but now watch for the 2 V8s behind him. Greenall and Grange start to catch up. Greenall trying to get through on the inside. Down towards Gerrard's they come for the first time. A bit of a slow start there for Tim Dodwell in his Mini, dropping back. But it's Robin Slater who leads. Grange in second. Greenall is third. Kevin Swan has held fourth in the Ford Anglia. Behind him is one of the Lotus Cortinas. Pick up who that is in a moment. Piers Grange is going to go for the lead as they go down into the S's. The Mustang powers past the Anglia but runs wide on the X. He's going for the grass. Piers Grange is off. Mind the barriers. That beautiful Ford Mustang, we don't want that damage. We've already lost a Lotus Cortina. Good save, Piers Grange. Slater in the lead ahead of Alan Greenall. Ryan Bedford making a move there on Patrick Harris. This time Greenall's going to go for the lead in the Falcon. Is he going to break a bit earlier than Piers Grange did? Yes, he's got it round and he takes the lead of the race from Robin Slater. James Ibbotson in the navy blue Hillman Imp is your champion-elect. Michael Foley about to be lapped, but they're coming up to the checkered flag this time in what's been a chaotic race for the Pre-66 touring cars, sponsored by Pultec Race Engines. It's going to be won by Alan Greenall in the big Falcon. Takes the flag. Robin Slater second, then David Hall is third. Piers Grange will take fourth. He's got the Mustang ahead of Kevin Swan. Then the minis of Nathan Williams and Andy Mesham. There goes the Hillman Imp. He's coming up to the line now. Eighth is going to go to Pat Keneally, and James Ibbotson across the line in the Hillman Imp wins Class E, and by my calculations that is enough for the overall championship. So 8 points for James Ibbotson. I think that's going to be enough. Greenall wins overall and takes Class A, just over a second ahead of Robin Slater. He wins Class C. Now, did he get the fastest lap in Class C? I think he did. So he'll get 14 points. David Hall takes third place and wins Class F. Then Piers Grange in the Mustang fourth. Kevin Swan is fifth, ahead of Nathan Williams and Andy Mesham in the minis. Pat Keneally, good effort from the back of the grid, takes eighth. James Ibbotson ninth, ahead of Ez Walker. Then John Davies, Brian Bedford, Michael Loveland in the second of the Imps, Patrick Harris, Nathan Beresford takes 15th place, and the other finishers were Stuart Radford in the Triumph, Tim Dodwell's Mini, Keith Wright, Michael Foley and Paul Cooper. I think we can head down to Parc Fermé to hear from our race winners with Ian.
Well, another fantastic race, wasn't it? Interrupted race, of course. We had that 5-lap dash at the end, and I thought at 1 minute it was going to be Piers Grange who was going to get the job done. Not quite so. In the end, it was Alan Greenhall. He's up here. Let's go have a quick chat with him, shall we? And it's all smiles, it really is. Let's just grab and Piers, don't go anywhere either. Alan, there you go. That's how you do that. But my word, it was. You were out there for ages, weren't you?
Well, yeah, we were out there for ages, with temperature gauge going up, and I'm blimey, turn the engine off, turn it on. But anyway, no, it worked out all right, and I was a bit unhappy to have gone wide earlier on and let Piers through. But it's still quite wet on the outside of the circuit, and I just went a little bit wide. And anyway, they got it back.
You've got some serious pace down the straight, and you were coming down. I was like, just get it stopped. I remember you saying it's like a boat earlier. I was like, just use that brake.
Well,
get
yeah,
it stopped.
When I saw Piers go off there, I thought, woo.
Yeah.
I'm not racing the Anglia, I'm racing Piers. So I backed off a bit, and I had to use all my grunt to get past the Anglia. So going really well.
Okay, let's have a look at the grid for our Jags then, based on the results of race 1. So it's Tom Robinson, number 4, on pole position, alongside number 24, Michael Seaborn. If he wins Class B here, he wins the overall championship. Second row, number 44, Guy Connew, and number 11, Michael Holtz. Third row, 54, Rick Walker, alongside 65 of Simon Lewis. Hopefully he's fixed his transponder. Tom Lenthal and Daniel Stewart on row 4. Tom Lenthal, I think the only man who can stop Michael Seaborn winning the title now. Simon Dunford and Michael Atkinson on row 5. David Ringham and Matthew Davis complete the grid. 15 minutes of racing about to get underway when the red lights go out, which they do now. And down towards the first corner at Gerrards they go. Great start by Mike Seaborn. Good start by Guy Connew. Is Tom Robinson going to hold the lead though in the supercharged XJR6? Indeed he is. Mike Seaborn just needs to keep his class rivals behind him, Rick Walker and Tom Lenthal, his main rivals in Class B. Around the first corner they go. Seaborn has dropped back, well, keeping his Class B rivals behind him. It's Rick Walker who's got in front of him there in the number 54. Or is he going to try and fight back here? Well, Matt Davis only fighting back, he's off. Matt Davis has spun it. Oh, lucky not to collect David Ringham there. Hopefully he can get the big Jag going again there, number 50, Matthew Davis. He's got it going again, that's good to see. Last thing we wanted was another stoppage there. Matthew Davis is off and away, number 50. There are the leaders. Mike Seaborn has dropped right back there in the number 24. It's Robinson that leads, Connew second. Tom Lenthal is up into third position. Robinson leads across the line then to complete lap number 2. Your leader is Tom Robinson with 8 minutes of this race to go. He's got an advantage of just over 3 seconds from Guy Connew. Tom Lenthal is in third place ahead of Rick Walker. That's the battle for the lead in Class B. Michael Holt is in 5th position, number 11. And Michael Seaborn probably just taking it easy here, because as long as he gets the 3rd place in Class B, 6th overall, then that will be enough to earn him the championships. There's Tom Lenthal ahead of Rick Walker, the lead of Class B. That's for 3rd overall, so the XK8 up to full power now. Chased by Rick Walker in the Jaguar Formula 1 green, number 54. And there's Michael Holt. He's got Mike Seaborn behind him. Mike Seaborn knows he doesn't need a win in Class B here. He doesn't need to push too hard. He's just got to bring it home, and he is going to be provisionally the champion this year. What an achievement in his first full season of car racing. And up towards the hairpin for the last time. The end of the Jaguar season is almost upon us. This man has done the majority of the overall winning this year, except when James Ram was in town for a few rounds with his XJS. It's going to be another win and the Class D Championship for Tom Robinson. Here he comes out of the final corner to win the final Jaguar Enthusiasts Club race of the season. Guy Connew comes over in second. Tom Lenthal wins Class B in third place. Rick Walker is fourth. Fifth, it is going to be Michael Holt. He will win Class C. Tom Lenthal's already sealed the championship in Class C in an earlier round. And here comes Michael Seaborn. Third in Class B is going to be enough, surely. Here he comes. He weaves across the line in celebration. Mike Seaborn is the champion. Congratulations, Mike Seaborn, in his first full season of car racing. The Wiltshire man wins the title in the XJ40. Tom Robinson, the winner and Class D champion this year, beating Guy Connew by 4 seconds. Tom Lenthal takes third. He'd already won the Class C championship in an earlier round, running in Class B today. Rick Walker in fourth. Michael Holt wins Class C in fifth position. Mike Seaborn in sixth, your Class B and overall champion provisionally for this year. A lap down, Daniel Stewart in seventh. Simon Dunford, the Class A champion, wins the class in eighth place. Michael Atkinson ninth, then David Ringham. I think we lost Simon Lewis towards the end, and Matt Davis, the last car running. That concludes the Jaguar season then. We'll hand down to Parc Fermé in a moment.
Right, everybody, welcome down to Parc Fermé, and that time round it was Tom Robinson who kind of had it his own way, didn't he, a little bit in that race. Mike Seaborn in the dry, unable to really compete with him. It was Guy Connew coming home in second place. Let's grab a quick word with Tom once again. Tommy, we keep making a bit of a habit of this. I'll let you get your helmet off first. Yeah, I think every time I've seen you this year, I end up talking to you in first place. Congratulations.
Thank
a
you
little
very
bit
much.
more comfortable that time, it looked.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, the dry definitely played to my advantage that time.
And the track now, is it completely bone dry out
It
there?
is, yeah. There's a couple of little areas, patches, but on racing line it's dry all the way. Definitely.
Well, look, obviously you wrapped up the championship as well, of course. What a season it's been for you. Describe it for us.
Well, just really happy, to be honest. It's just a shame that, as you know, James Ram and Colin are my closest players. They haven't been here the last 2 rounds, but we've found some places in the car near the end of the year, and I'm really excited to get ready for next year. Hopefully we'll have a proper shot at the championship next year.
There you go, mate. Well done. Congratulations. Lovely stuff.
Okay, cheers, Ian. Getting ready for the Laser Tools Pre-93 touring cars and Simply Serviced Pre-03 touring cars. The grid based on the results of the earlier race. The cars are on their way out now. And pole position will be our earlier winner from the Pre-03 touring cars, Andrew Neil, in the Peugeot 106, alongside James Everard, the Pre-93 winner in his BMW. The second row, Gary Preble, number 191. So David Griffin lines up on the second row of the grid. Row 3, 169 Ross Craig and number 90 Ian Bauer. Simon Ward on row 4, number 71, alongside 25 of Paul Hinson. Fifth row, John Hillier, the BMW estate, alongside number 52 of David Nixon. Row 6, Steve Cripps and Andy Cripps, the family together in their Escort and BMW. Row 7, Matthew Howarth in the Astra, Alan Hersey's BMW. Graham Myers and Andy Sheraton hopefully at the back of the field, rounding out this 16-car grid. Then this will be a 15-minute race for the Laser Tools Pre-93 touring cars, the Simply Serviced Pre-03 touring cars. Their final race of the season gets underway. And across there, James Everard, and that blocks an attack from David Griffin. They slid off the line there. Gary Preble already trying to move through into the lead as they come down into Gerrard's. But it's Everard round the outside of Everard. You want to start by the E30. I think he'll have the lead as they come out of Gerrard's for the first time. Yes, it's the BMW that leads the way from Gary Preble. Andy Neil, rather caught napping there, is down into third place. It's Ian Bauer with a super start as well up into fourth. As long as he finishes ahead of David Griffin here, he will take the Pre-93 Touring Car Championship for this year. Away goes James Everard in the E30 though. Can the ex-Stanford family car take a winner? Hopping its way down to the hairpin there, chased by Gary Preble. Neil is third, then Bauer. Griffin's up to fifth. He's got ahead of Ross Craig there. Over the top of Devil's Elbow for the first time they come then. This is going to be a spectacular thrash to the flag. Gary Preble already having a look. We saw these two having a bit of a scrap earlier on, but that was for second place behind Andy Neil. This time it's for the lead. Neil down in third and under fire from Ian Bauer, who wants to put as much distance between himself and David Griffin as he can. There's Simon Ward, the local man in the Astra. James Everard, the ex-classic Alfa Romeo racer, holds his lead. Here comes Gary Preble, former king of Castle Combe in the Honda Civic. Up the inside, he's going to take the lead surely into the S's under braking. He goes through. Preble leads. Andy Neil Neil under fire from Ian Bauer, trying to get around the outside. 5th position, we've got David Griffin, then it's Craig, Ward, then a whole gaggle of cars. There's Bauer, the Castrol BMW, the Italian Super Turismo replica livery. Griffin, the Australian touring car, Super Touring Car Championship Diet Coke car. He's going to try and go around the outside of the Devil's Elbow. That's brave. Has he done it? He'll have the inside for Gerrard. Yes, he's got it. Round the outside at Devil's Elbow, you don't see that very often. Ross Craig now behind them. David Griffin is now free to go after Ian Bauer for the lead of the class. See what the gap is between Bauer and Griffin. It was 3.6 seconds between the two BMWs. Neil holding off Craig. There go the BMWs over the line. Bauer and Griffin separated by 3.8. Ross Craig looks to make his move into Gerrard's. Yes, he's got him. Up into 5th position and 2nd of the pre-2003 cars. There's our leader. We'd almost forgotten about Gary Preble. He's so far ahead now. Nearly 7 seconds up on James Everard. He's heading for this year's pre-03 title. Had some battles with AJ Owen early on in the season before AJ switched to the Classic Thunder Saloon Championship, changed the spec of his Honda. Gary Preble's only defeat, if you like, this year has been at Cadwell Park, where he didn't start the 2nd race. He won the 1st one, but engine issues kept him out of race 2. He's won his class, at least, in every other race this year. So virtually an unbeaten season. He's won every race he started, except for race 1 today, when Andrew Neil beat him. That is some record. But it's going to be another one here. A deserved pre-2003 touring car champion, sponsored by Simply Serviced. He comes out of the Shaw's hairpin for the final time. Formerly the king of Castle Coombe, he is now the king of Simply Serviced pre-2003 touring cars. Here he comes, your race winner and champion, Gary Preble. What a dominant season. He backed off around the final lap there. James Everard closed in by a few seconds. He takes 2nd and wins the pre-93 split. Ian Bauer comes over in 3rd. He got to within 1.7 seconds of Bauer at the end of that race. He is provisionally the pre-93 champion, Ian Bauer. That will be confirmed in due course, though. David Griffin comes over in 4th place, a further 12 seconds back. Just one race to go here at Mallory Park in the sunset today, the pre-83 touring cars, with the provisional results of the Classic Touring Car Racing Club pre-93 and 03 touring cars. Gary Preble takes the win by nearly 7 seconds, having backed off towards the end. James Everard wins the pre-93 split in 2nd, and Ian Bauer, a class win. Provisionally, he is the pre-93 champion this year. David Griffin takes 4th ahead of Ross Craig and Andy Neil. Simon Ward wins his class in 7th, then Andy Cripps with his BMW, a good 8th place ahead of David Nixon and Stephen Cripps. He wins his class. Graham Myers 11th from the back of the grid, then Howarth taking 12th in the Astra, John Hillier 13th in the BMW estate, then Andy Sheraton gets a finish this time, Paul Hinson and Alan Hersey completing the runners. Congratulations to our pre-93 and 03 Touring Car Championship racers, and we'll head down to Parc Fermé with Ian Waterhouse in a second.
Right, hello everybody, welcome down to Parc Fermé once again, and the king over here, Gary Preble, taking the pre-03 win. Special mention James Everard, we'll catch up with him as well, taking the pre-93 win. Here he is, the king, that is Gary Preble. That's more like it, Gary.
That's very much more like it, yeah.
We prefer the dry, I take it then.
Well, we went back on the dry setup, and yeah, obviously it works. We made a few little tweaks and onto the brake bias as well between the last race and this race. And yeah, thankfully everything pulled off, and I got a good start, and yeah, once I got past Neil and in the little Peugeot, and that it was yeah, we were away. Well, no, sorry, the BM went flying around the outside of all of us to begin with. But,
yeah.
Managed to clear that, and yeah, I just got my head down, kept it honest.
It's no mean feat round Mallory Park, is it, to win by a decent margin, because it's such a short track anyway, isn't it?
It is, and the back markers come up so quick, and it's very easy, because you're the first one on the scene, it's very easy for them to not quite realise that you've caught them that quick, and sometimes you sort of, you know, they hold you up a little bit, and you're sort of, oh, okay, come on, I just want to get a decent lap, and yeah, I was just concentrating on the lap times, but yeah, the race went without worries. I mean, about 4 laps before the end, going around Gerrard's, started picking up a misfire, like it was suffering from fuel starvation. So as you probably noticed, the latter part of the race, that I really sort of slowed it off, early gear changes. I think maybe the lift pump's not keeping up with the main fuel pump, and it's not physically, getting into the swirl.
Just get it home,
enough.
get it safe. That's it.
Get it home, get it safe, and job done. Yeah.
Well done, mate.
Thank
Congratulations.
Okay, one race to go then, and this could be the race of the day. We had an incredible race for the Shell Oils Pre-83 touring cars earlier on. Thomas Harvey, an incredible win going around the outside of Stephen Primet into Gerrard's for the last time. Before that, it was like watching an ice race, the way he was flinging that BMW around. He really is an incredible young talent, Thomas Harvey. He starts from pole, Stephen Primet alongside him. On the second row, Mark Osborne and Mark Chollerton, Triumph Dolomite and Escort Mark II. Steve Cripps will be on row 3 alongside David Howard in the Jaguar. Row 4, Peter Millington and Keith Evans, Hillman Avenger and Alfa Romeo. Row 5, Martin Reynolds in the Ford Taunus. Hopefully he's out there. Broke down on the last lap of race 1, unfortunately. Mark Lucock, of course, retired from race 1, as did Colin Claxton. Got into a bit of a scrape on the first corner and hit the barriers. Hopefully they've repaired to take part in this second race. We'll wait to see if the other 2 cars that didn't make it out for race 1 appear here as well. Tony Palmer's Rover SD1 and David Claxton in his Triumph Dolomite Sprint. Hopefully we'll see 13 cars instead of 11 for this one, but we'll see what emerges from the assembly area very shortly. This is our last race of the day. Here we go. 15 minutes of racing. The red lights are on. Revs rise. And off they go. Here we go. Down to Gerrard's for the first time. It's a good start by Mark Osborne. Look at the way the Triumph is coming through. He's got ahead of Primet. He's got ahead of Tom Harvey as well. I didn't expect that. Stephen Cripps has got a wheel on the grass on the inside, and Mark Lucock's already got around the outside of a couple of cars. Mark Lucock's up into 5th position, straight past David Howard, past Cripps and Millington as well. And Mark Lucock knows exactly where he's already up on towards Primet's tail there. Right, battle is joined. Mark Osborne, a superstar, has got the lead in the Triumph. Tom Harvey, Mr. Sideways from earlier on, going for the outside. Primet is 3rd, Chollerton 4th, Lucock already up to 5th after blasting off the line from the back. Here we go into Shaw's hairpin for the first time in the gathering gloom here at Mallory Park. It's Mark Osborne who leads. Primet up the inside trying to take 2nd place away from Tom Harvey. He knows he's got to push hard to try and get away from Mark Lucock. Mark Chollerton in between the 2 of them at the moment in the number 81, the Mark II Escort, but it's Osborne, the Welshman, who leads the way in the Dolly Sprint. Tom Harvey in 2nd place, then it's Primet, Chollerton, Lucock ahead of Cripps, then David Howard, Millington and Evans, the 2 less powerful Class D cars being rather left behind at the back. Tom Harvey still learning this car, normally used to racing an Escort. Side by side for 2nd now. Primet has got Lucock on his tail. He's got ahead of Mark Chollerton. Look at this now. Battle is joined for the championship. Can Mark Lucock get past Stephen Primet? Up the inside, they're going to take Harvey here at the hairpin. Well, Primet's going to move him wide. Lucock's desperately trying to keep pace with the white Escort ahead of him. He knows all he's got to do is finish ahead of that car to take the championship. Into the sunset they race. Osborne, Harvey, Primet still 3rd. Primet's going to go for it here into the S's. He's going to go through. He's not waiting for the S's. He's gone through. Up into 2nd. Lucock's going to follow him. Now Tom Harvey, perhaps it's best just to let the championship protagonists have their own race here and keep out of the way and avoid the BMW getting involved if anything goes wrong. They're through to 2nd and 3rd. It's still Osborne in the Triumph that leads the Fords. It's all about the 2 Mark I Escorts, and Primet's going for the outside on Mark Osborne. I don't think he's going to get through there. No, he doesn't. He's going to have another go on the run to the hairpin, though. Primet wants to win back his title here as Mike Luck, the owner of the BMW, who won the title last year after Primet crashed in the last round at Silverstone. The Dolomite again here of Mark Osborne. They've had a great rivalry for many years, these 2. Osborne has beaten Primet to the title on a couple of occasions in the past. He's going to try and go around the outside of him. He's almost got him on the run up to Shaw's hairpin, but again, Osborne defends the inside. He's almost edging in towards the grass there. Something's got to give here on the run down into the hairpin, and Osborne somehow has held his lead. And Lucock's up the inside because Primet lost momentum there as a result of Osborne defending, and Lucock's seen his chance. Still Osborne that's got the lead. Now, this is where Primet is stronger. He's going to try and slipstream the Triumph ahead of him, but Lucock's going to try and do both of them. He's going to go to the outside. They're almost on top of each other. Primet's going to sling it down the outside into the S's. He throws it, everything he's got at him. He's got the lead. He's got it this time, Stephen Primet. Brilliant bit of driving. Now Lucock's going to have to try and do the same thing. He's got 2 cars to get past. So the young gun in the BMW. Now here comes Lucock. He's desperate to get past Mark Osborne. He's got to get past Osborne if he's going to stand any chance of catching Stephen Primet. But he's gone wide there. Harvey up the inside. Has Harvey got through? Into third place. They're coming down to the hairpin at this time. They've got a back marker to negotiate as well. No, Lucock's still there in third. But all the time, this is allowing Stephen Primet to get away. Devil's elbow, and they're leaning on each other as they come out of there past the Avenger. This could allow Tom Harvey a chance to take third place. He's trying to go around the outside. He won't get through there. Lucock defends. Oh, is Harvey slowing? Yeah, I think the BMW's got a problem. Yes, Tom Harvey's in trouble. That's a great shame. And the BMW is out of the race. Yeah, he turns the headlights off, pulls it off into the paddock. Tom Harvey out of the race. He's driven the wheels off this Escort in this second race. Such a shame the car let him down in race one. Oh, and I think it's let him down again. His headlights go out, he's out. That's it. The headlights suddenly went off there as he came towards the hairpin. The car has shut down on him. Mark Lucock's championship is over. Stephen Primet is the champion. Oh, what a sad way for that battle to end. But here we go into the last lap of the season for the Classic Touring Car Racing Club here at Mallory Park. Stephen Primet from Bedfordshire, who's been so dominant in this Mark 1 Escort in years gone by, was denied at the last in 2020. Oh, Lucock's getting going again. He's managed to fire the car up, but he's dropped well back. Over a lap behind now. Here he comes, Stephen Primet is once again Pre-83 Touring Car Champion. And as the sun sets on the season here at Mallory Park for the Classic Touring Car Racing Club, will confirm the results of the Pre-83 Touring Car Championship, sponsored by Shell Oils. Stephen Primet the winner by 3.6 seconds ahead of Mark Osborne. Mark Chollerton completing the podium. Steve Cripps takes fourth. Winner of Class A in fifth was David Howard. Mark Lucock did get going again a lap down to finish in sixth place, but his championship hopes were over. Peter Millington in seventh wins Class D in his Avenger ahead of Keith Evans in the Alpha Sud. And of course we lost Tom Harvey sadly halfway through. All that remains then is to head down to Parc Fermé and hear from our race winner and new champion, Stephen Primet.
Well, everybody, welcome down to Parc Fermé. I've had to lie down after that because what an incredible race. No, in all seriousness, I really did. That was quite incredible, wasn't it? This man, though, Stephen Primet, he did get over the line in front. Bit of a shame, wasn't it? We did lose Tim Harvey and Mark Lucock from that race, but never mind. It was an absolute cracker, wasn't it? Stephen, that's even one better than last time. Must be even happier than when I last spoke to you.
Very, very happy, mate.
It was an incredible race, wasn't it? And actually, when you got out in front, the group behind kind of battling, it probably let you get away a bit.
Yeah, I think it done me a right turn. Mark Osborne was just Mark was super quick, but I thought, if I could get by him, I've got some pace. But he's brilliant at defending, but snuck him in the end down the S's. So
he was quick, wasn't he?
Happy days.
Look, well done, big smiles, great way to finish the season, isn't it, mate? Well done, top man indeed.
Thanks very much, Ian Waterhouse, our man down in the paddock today. And that's as the sun sets here at Mallory Park. It sets on the season for the Classic Touring Car Racing Club. That's the end of their season. So first of all, thank you very much to all of their competitors and their backup teams and mechanics in the paddock for everything this year. Congratulations to all our winners and all our champions from the Classic Touring Car Racing Club and the Jaguar Enthusiast Club who've raced with them this year as well. That's about all from Mallory Park here today. So we say a big thank you first of all to all our volunteer marshals. Couldn't go racing without them. They braved the rain in the early stages today. Thanks to all the St John's ambulance staff, the recovery crews, the race control staff here at Mallory Park, all the British Automobile Racing Club officials as well. Thank you to all our camera crews here at Mallory for bringing us the action as well. Again, we're back next week at Donington Park, home of motorsport in the Midlands, for the Britcar Endurance Championship finale, sponsored as always by Goodyear, and support races to be confirmed as well. A great weekend, 2 days of race action next weekend from Donington Park. So on behalf of Ian Waterhouse and everyone here at Mallory Park and all our backup camera crews and everybody else, thank you very much indeed for watching, everyone. We hope you've enjoyed the action. We will see you next week from Donington, but until then, this is commentator Dave Goddard signing off here. Thanks again for watching, everyone. We'll see you next week. Bye for now.